Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to the stars of Las Vegas, and a man that we've spoken to for over a decade, one of the biggest stars of 35 years in Las Vegas, is Frank Marino. How are you, Frank?
Well, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a bit worried about you because in the last few months you've had such a tough time, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you today, it seems to me there's been things written that are maybe not true, and I wanted to just clarify your position. Tell us how you are and what's going on.
Well, I'll be honest, it has been a rough 4 months now. There was a few different stories circulating around. One involved a nonprofit organization here, and one was like something going on with the cocktail waitresses in my showroom, and it all got piled into one big lump, and it made it look like I was doing stuff that wasn't very nice, and it has come out since then that there was no involvement with me. And at this point, I'm just trying to get that word out to everybody, and I'm starting a new show for 2019, and looking forward to the future and trying to get everything put in the past that has happened in the past.
And we should make it clear from a conversation we had before this interview that you are going to take legal action against those who spread things that were not true. Is that the case?
Yes. I've come across people now with this social media that I guess you would call them bloggers and just people that are allowed to say stuff without checking fact. And because of that, unfortunately, the public's so into this new social media thing, which I'm very new to, hang on it like it's gospel. And they have they don't have to have the morals that actual reporters have. They don't have to fact check. They don't have to do any of that stuff. So they could get out there and say crazy things about you, and if the public buy it, you could actually ruin somebody's reputation, and that's actually what I think they've done to me.
How are you? I know you've had a very blessed career of huge success, big money, and a very, very successful show. And then one day you wake up and find yourself as breaking news. It's everybody's nightmare to find themselves on the front of a paper. And this went on for above a week in Las Vegas. How are you? How did this affect you? Because it cannot have been easy.
Well, I always dreamed of being on the cover of the newspaper as much as I've been the last few months. But for different reasons. You know, if it was positive, I would have been fantastic about it. But I went through a really, really dark period. I wouldn't even say it's over yet as far as emotionally. I felt feelings I never felt before. I felt like certain individuals took me down just to get a headline or to advance their career. And I feel that happens a lot lately, that it used to be innocent before proven guilty. Now I feel it's guilty before proven innocent. And I just wonder when it's all said and done and all the truth's out, how many apologies I'm going to get from people that, you know, went on the bandwagon and said, oh my God, I can't believe he would do something like that. And the point is, I wouldn't do something like that. But what I've learned, and I'm going through therapy on it, I'm going to be totally honest, I learned focus on the positive. I focused on all the people that knew me, calling me, people like yourself going, there's more to the story, what's really going on, and letting me speak. As far as the attorneys and everybody, they didn't want me to say anything because they didn't want me to say the wrong thing until the investigations were done. But we're just about tying everything up, and then the people that did me wrong, I hope they have all their fact checks correct, because when I go after them, they're going to kind of need them when we're in court.
And to be absolutely clear, at any point in that last year, were you personally aware that payments were not made that were owed or should have been given to a charity? Because that, I suppose, is the biggest question here, is who knew what and why wasn't that money paid?
But let me tell you, throughout this whole process, we're talking about one specific nonprofit right now, but I have, you can imagine, in the 35 years of doing my show, donated money, donated tickets, donated working for free, like doing shows for them, to probably every nonprofit here in Las Vegas. And that being said, that's what I do. If there's extra monies and I want to donate, I always go to the nonprofits, especially the ones of my choice that my heart's near and dear to.
And one very important question that you alluded to earlier, there was somebody taking tickets and selling them on behalf of you and the charity for profit for the charity. Were you at any point complicit in knowing that those tickets were being sold for that purpose?
I had absolutely no idea that was going on, and the minute I found out that it was going on, I jumped in to make it whole.
And of course, the public have a trust in you. You've been there a long time. And I think that's one of the reasons there was such shock in Vegas. You are a legend and people do love and respect you.
Yes, and what I'm really sorry about is due to a misunderstanding, miscommunication, you know, I always want to do the right thing, and I always want to, you know, make good on any promises anybody in my team make. And because of that, hopefully people will understand what happened, and hopefully, you know, they'll be forgiving and see what the new show brings and just want to come out and support us as they did for 35 years.
You've worked your ass off for 35 years in Las Vegas. I wonder how it feels one day to realize you're not going to have to put the wig on and the frock and the shoes and do the act and be Joan Rivers. That must have been another trauma on another level. I suppose in a way you've not even had time to grieve for that because you've been so distracted with this breaking news story.
That's exactly it. To this day, I think it's 4 months later. I'm not sure how long it's been, but I have not put on a dress or told a joke in that amount of time. And it's right. It was like morning. Don't forget now, I think it was 17 when I started doing this show. So I was originally going to be a doctor, and the only job I had while I was going to college was I graduated early. I was going to college. I was going to be a doctor, and I was working on Sundays in a very large pharmacy. So I would, you know, back then we'd have to like count the pills out and help. I was an assistant pharmacist. I would help the guy count the pills and do whatever, type out the labels, yada yada. And that's how I started in the business. You know, those big drugstores also have the makeup department in the front. So the reps would come in on Sundays when I'd be working, and they'd show their product, and I would just talk to them. In my gift to gab, I learned the different techniques, and that's actually how I started a career in female impersonation. And I had just coming off the hit show in Great Britain, Last Laugh in Vegas, which I had a great time doing and was looking forward to coming back and doing more, and I still do in the future, hope that I get that opportunity. But it really was at the height of my career, and that's probably why they went for me, that all this scandal happened, and because of that, you know, we are where we are. But I plan on just thinking of the positive and the celebrities that had called me and, you know, spoke to me, and then I was like, listen, God has more in store for you than having a 35-year career go down with idle gossip. There's got to be more, and it probably happened so I could weed out who my friends were and who my friends weren't, and be able to go on to the next journey in my life with positive energy and a positive crew.
When you woke up that day and you were told that the show was closing, I guess you had very little time to get out of the theatre. Did somebody deal with that for you? Were you at home? Because that's got to be, at very least, traumatic, at the worst, sort of devastating.
Well, what was very strange is I was celebrating a 25-year anniversary with my partner, and we were in an airplane going to Chicago when this all broke out. And originally, I had plans to go to another hotel, and it was in agreement with Caesars Entertainment that we were mutually separating. And the next thing you know, bloggers started coming out with these allegations that weren't even remotely true. And because of that, it blew up like wildfire. I didn't get to go to the other property because they wanted to see how everything played out. And now that they see how it's played out, there's hotels that are interested in wanting to give me the opportunity to bring the show there, because the bottom line is, and you've seen it, the show has been successful for 35. Nobody keeps the show for that long if it's not making the money. So we were doing very well for them, and I hope that the new show I'm putting together, which has got all of my effort put into it and all of my love, that hopefully the audience loves it even more than the last one.
And I do have to ask about the cast, because, of course, it's not just you involved this. You have a team of people behind you that make you look as fabulous as you do, and, of course, a team of dancers that make the show happen. How were they? Because they were put out of work the same day you were.
I had 35 people on payroll that I had to break this news to that literally almost killed me. Because outside of myself, which was, of course, I had my own pity party, I had even a bigger pity party for these poor people that were left in the middle of a whirlwind that they had nothing to do with.
Did they stick by you? How were they?
Well, everybody obviously had to go out and get work, and they've since scattered, but some of them keep in touch approaches me, weekly, and some of them had to move on. But unfortunately, the people that wrote just idle gossip, I hope they realize, and maybe through this interview they will, that they really hurt a lot of people.
Is there still a future in Las Vegas, aside from what's happened for drag queens and this type of show? Because it seems to be Vegas is changing. I'm looking what's happening at Bally's. They seem to be kicking a lot of people out. It's uncertain about the future of musicals in the town. It seems like they seem to flop before they've even opened. What is the future for a show like Divas?
Well, I think the good thing about Divas and why we lasted so long is we can change with the times. So if somebody's popular today, let it be Katy Perry or whoever is famous nowadays, she wasn't even born when we started the show. So let's say when we started the show, we had a Marilyn Monroe or a Judy Garland, and nowadays we have a Katy Perry and a Britney Spears or a Mariah Carey. Some of these people careers, first of all, they weren't even born when we started day one, but these careers skyrocketed while we were doing the show, so that could always change. I always keep the nostalgic superstars, like you'll always see a Cher and a Madonna in my show, but we will also do the newer characters, whether it be a Taylor Swift or something like that. So that's how that part keeps changing. Then there's my gowns that will change with the times, and it's not till I look like in storage and warehouses and realize, wow, look at those big padded shoulders from the 80s and very Dynasty and Joan Collins to the more streamlined costumes of today. And then, of course, the monologues, right? Now, the big thing, of course, here in America would be like talking about Donald Trump or political stuff. And back then, Donald Trump wouldn't even be relevant. So I could change the monologues. So between the costumes, the monologues, and the characters, the show can evolve with the time. So I think a show like mine has a spot in Vegas for a long, long time to come, if not forever. And for that reason, I'm bringing the show back, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever, in my opinion.
I wish you all the best, and I hope you can prove what you say you can prove, because you deserve to be on a stage. And I fully appreciate what it must be like to have lost your voice. You're a guy who speaks for a living and entertains for a living, and to have that microphone taken away must have been incredibly difficult.
I appreciate you saying that, and that's why when I do finally pick up that microphone again, you're going to be one of the few people that I'm speaking to get the point out correctly.
Frank Marino, thank you so much for your time.